Make the morning great with a stop at Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main Street in Princeton. Whistle Stop makes their donuts fresh daily, and they're ready on your way to work or school. They have a wide variety of fresh donuts, so you can surprise the office with a dozen delicious donuts. And remember, after 11 a.m., donuts are only $5 per dozen through August 8th. Stop by Whistle Stop today and enjoy a donut or a dozen. They're open 5 a.m. to noon, Monday through Saturday. Whistle Stop Donuts on West Main in Princeton.
All right, at 8:04, I have the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios our agent for agriculture and natural resources out at the UK Extension Office, Shane Bogel. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. It's cool outside.
Well, doesn't it feel nice?
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference, about a 10-degree difference, and there's the humidity's a lot
gone.
lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
It is.
Yeah, I wish we would have had it for the eclipse on Monday, but it still was a nice day on Monday, too. Little warm and a little toasty, I'm sure, for folks that are outside for a long time. Your impressions as before we get into the show of the eclipse event.
See what I enjoyed it, and with the family, went out to the farm there, peace and quiet.
Yeah.
6 people on 160 acres. It was pristine. It was a great experience, and I didn't know what to expect, but I sure did enjoy it.
I did too, and I think for a few minutes, if just for a few minutes, everybody just kind of came together as one. It was that was kind of, in my mind, the neat thing about it. I don't care where you were, you might not have been with people, but you just felt like there was a sense of togetherness.
Yeah, and being in the country, you kind of understood the ramifications of it as the crickets and the katydids started going, and the bullfrogs and the chickens, the roosters are crowing. It was interesting.
It was good event. Well, welcome this morning. It is our extension program, and we've got a lot of things happening out there as usual.
There's always.
Yes,
we
sir.
always got stuff going on, Ty, and we have a new series of programs coming up, adulting.
Yep. I need a lot of us need that, don't we?
As we were sitting down planning this series, it has been done some other places in the state kind of similar to this and has had very good response. So I know they'll be talking about this as this progresses, but
Right.
we'll start with this on September the 5th.
Okay.
With Car Stuff 101.
That's important stuff to know.
Very important stuff. We have a couple of automotive specialists that will be at our extension office. We'll have a automobile there. So just a little tagline there. Do you know what your warning lights mean if they come on the dash?
Yeah.
Where is the oil dipstick? Simple things as you're driving down the road, your tire gauge light comes on. Just the simple things about a car. Should I be concerned? Do I need to do something immediately? When I first married, I'll tell one on my wife, when that little light comes on, you don't keep driving it when it's the temperature light.
You got it. I've been there and done that one myself.
So we'll have an evening there again on the September the 5th. We'll be starting at 6 o'clock at the extension office on Car Stuff 101, and we will have part of it inside talking about some things, general things with automobile. Then we'll go out to our shop building and have a vehicle there. We'll have some automotive specialists that will show where different things are on the vehicle, where these warning lights are, what they are. And this is just setting up the stage for Money 101. Do you have a budget? Do you know your credit score? To Cooking 101. You know how to measure ingredients. Plumb all the way up to being a good employee. What should you wear to an interview? You know, simple things, but that means so much.
Good stuff.
For future. Yes, it's very good stuff, and this is a team effort there at the office with all of us, Joni, Rhonda, and Ashley and I. So we'll each be taking some of these sessions and going with them, and probably we'll add some toward the end if they are popular. We had some topics that we left off just because 10 sessions is kind of intimidating.
Right.
And so we'll start with that, and if there's interest there, we'll add some more of these other topics with the second series.
You could do a lot with that, too. I mean, there's all kinds of places to go with that.
There is. So if you want a schedule of that, of course, these classes are free. They are all at the extension office, and you can call 365-2787 and get a copy of the flyer. It's on our Facebook pages. I know you're promoting that also here,
Yes.
so if you're interested, let us know. We'll get you signed up.
Great. Sounds like a fantastic way for people to learn, and would encourage you to sign up for adulting, and that starts September the 5th. That's a Tuesday.
That is a Tuesday.
Okay. Yep.
And that'll be, of course, at the extension office.
Okay.
All of them will be there.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
Now, we talk this morning about some of our past insect talks.
Yes.
And I normally glean a lot of what I put on this program from what I hear either at the coffee shop or what's going on out in the county at the time. And this morning was an excellent topic. Somebody went into the woods for a little while, and the next morning had a nice surprise around their socks, around their knees, the backs of their knees, and that's chiggers. Ty.
Yep. You're not really talking about ticks. They're out there
No,
too.
Ticks are there, but chiggers.
They're there too.
They are
Unfortunately,
there. They are there too. And the chigger is a parasitic, immature stage of a mite.
Okay.
And they feed on arthropods as an adult, but in that early stage, they like us.
Yeah.
They like animals. And chigger bites are a lingering souvenir of any time this time of year you're spending in the woods. And the bad part, they're too small for most people to see until it's too late.
Yep.
So they do their feeding in, and like I said, they like areas between, because they can't grab. You know, a tick will hang on the edge of a limb, and as you walk by, they hook you with their little leg, and then they can latch on. Well, a chigger's not that way. They can't hang on their own, so they like where your clothes restrictions are, around your socks, around your waistline, anywhere that it's tight that they can hang on. And like ticks, they crawl up the tall grass and then will catch on, and they sense carbon dioxide. So that's how they know that people's around.
When you exhale, buddy, there they go.
And they climb on the people as they go by, and that hard follicle or skin pore gives them a place to feed. So they latch on, they do their feeding, and then they drop off. So by the time most people are experiencing the after effects, they've done dropped off and went on about their
Okay, so
their
they've
life.
already poisoned you, so to speak, and are gone.
Yeah, they don't burrow in the skin, nor do they suck blood. They feed on skin cells.
Wow.
But most folks are allergic to that, and it's that allergic reaction that's causing that damage. So it's not blood; it's skin cells.
So the old thing, when I used to come up here as a kid before I moved here, I used to come from Florida and didn't really have chiggers. We had sand spurs and other stuff. Didn't have chiggers, in a lot of places like here. And I mean, I'd get down there, and my brother and I get covered up. Now we'd always get nail polish or chigger rid, and that kind but the chigger was gone, right?
Yeah, probably by that time, there's gone.
So we were putting nail polish and chigger rid on there for no reason.
Yeah, and our skin reacts to most anything that's foreign.
Okay.
In the enzyme form, and that's what they.
So that's
secrete.
what those itching and is reacting to.
And usually within 3 to 6 hours is when you notice that irritation. And the chiggers have already stopped feeding by that time and have either dropped off or are coming off. And most people can't see them.
Right.
They see the big red whelp. And but I have learned, especially with young kids we live in the woods.
Yes.
That a magnifying glass is a handy thing to have around after they come out of the woods.
Because you can actually see them.
You can actually see them.
Are they
with
red?
That. They are more of a red, yes. And especially if they're light skinned.
That's what I think.
The darker the skin, the harder it is to see. But that frequent scratching then that people do is what causes that then to really turn into
a problem.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, topical lotions and creams applied to those areas like calamine lotion can help with that. And oral Benadryl and antihistamine can also help with that. And it's kind of a good thing to do that up front as you're going in and maybe stop that reaction from being quite so bad and still waiting until symptoms are there. And taking it after
You're
the
saying
fact.
to pre-apply.
Well, this time of year, if you're going to be out there,
you better be spraying something, right?
Yeah, you better be doing something. And home remedies to suffocate the mite, such as nail polish, and the rubbing alcohol or bleach, are of no benefit and may be harmful.
Isn't that something?
So those old timers that held you down and put the nail polish on those, it was.
I've had nail polish in places I don't even want to speak of. You know what I'm talking about?
Same here. The best strategy is to avoid chigger bites and to stay out of their territory this time of year.
Right.
Prepare to go, but wear long, loose-fitting pants and tuck your breeches into your boots.
Okay.
Can help where they don't have an outlet to get in. Do not sit or lie directly on the ground or overgrown areas. And I would say, Ty, after our Soul Quest, that we probably have
a few chigger
and
chigger
stories.
bites out there,
I would say so. Yeah, and when possible, walk in the center of trails and not along margins. So anywhere that the foliage is very thick, stay away from that area if you do have to go in the woods. And after the ice storm in '09, our woods,
yes,
the canopy has been so thin that we have so much undergrowth. There's forests aren't like they were before '09
No,
around here
totally,
anymore.
totally different.
So you can use an insect or tick repellent, which is DEET or permethrin, on your clothing are the most effective. So you're basically just creating a barrier where they don't want to stay on or get on. So we're not skin applying a repellent.
Right. It's just on your outer clothing, and
Yeah.
and really, if you're going into the woods this time of year anyway, you need to spray for ticks especially, or just Kentucky is the creepiest, crawliest state in the union, I do believe.
we do have a lot of stuff that'll either bite you, stab you, or stick you.
No doubt.
So another way to do, and this is what my family does more, is just come in and take a shower immediately.
Yeah.
And scrub good and get those off before they have a chance to do
Cause
that
any damage. Yeah.
So what can I do to get rid of chiggers on my property? Because we're in rural Kentucky, and most of the time rural meets forested and brushy areas, even in the city limits.
Yes.
So regular mowing and brush removal takes away that protective cover where they like to be. So a well-manicured lawn, trimming your bushes away from your house, things like that. It allows sunlight to penetrate areas and lowers the humidity, which this time of year when humidity's high is when they're the worst.
Right.
They thrive in that area. Short term, we can do, I have seen lawns and areas in town here that had similar to the ticks that were just so infested that we needed a pesticide spray
Onto the lawn.
onto the lawn and the landscape. So insect spray may provide a temporary reduction in numbers, but this is only a short-term solution. Habitat modification is your main thing. So always read your product labels of anything that you are going to buy, either to spray your clothes or to spray on your lawn, and make sure you're doing that correctly and to the law. Technically, to buy anything such as your permethrin 7 or anything you're going to spray on your lawn, technically you need be a certified private applicator to do that, where we come to the extension office.
Right.
We'll help train to know how to properly mix that chemical and use it according to the label.
And y'all have those periodically.
We
as
do.
Well.
We'll
Yeah.
have 6 or 7 of those classes a year, and it's a good idea. Originally, that started to be able to buy a restricted use pesticide where you have to have your card number or they won't even sell it to you. But over-the-counter stuff falls under that category too. It's just not regulated as the way.
And you need to be important when you're handling those chemicals.
That's
and,
true.
and it needs to be you need to be careful, because it's important to handle them properly, or you can hurt yourself or somebody else.
Yes.
So great tips about chigger tips this morning on the Extension Show. Well, let's take a break. We'll take a Strain Beans Coffee House break and a Miss McLovett's Cupcake Craze break, and we'll come back and we'll wrap up today's show, talk about some more things going on. We've got folks at the State Fair. Rhonda's up there, had the Ham Kids, and we'll talk a little bit about that and some other things when we come back on Tiger Talk. It's the Extension Show portion of Tiger Talk on Wednesday. It's 8:17, and back in a moment.
String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks, hot, over ice, or frozen. They serve lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2. Like them on Facebook to view their weekly menu. They also rent out the back room for birthday parties, anniversary parties, and baby showers. That's String Beans Coffee House, 108 East Main Street, Princeton. Give them a call, 270-365-0550. Shh! It's Princeton's best-kept secret. Pardon me?
Mrs. McLovett's Cupcakes in downtown Princeton. It's truly the best-kept secret in Princeton. Come down and enjoy a delicious homemade cupcake made from scratch and only from the finest ingredients. While downtown, enjoy a sweet treat on the patio in front of our shop. It's a delightful way to spend a moment with a friend or someone you love. Check out Instagram and Facebook for the Mrs. McLovett's Flavor of the Week. Mrs. McLovett's Cupcakes on Lower Main in Princeton, where there's always room for a cupcake. Phone 270-963-2544 to place an order.
And we're back here on Tiger Talk, our extension program, with our agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Shane Bogel. Let's talk about, before we get to talk about the State Fair, what's going on out in the agricultural world in the fields this state. What's going on with the farmers out in the county?
Well, traffic is about to increase tenfold here in the next week. We have started corn harvest in Caldwell County, around the Fredonia area. Some corn already shelled, and of course tobacco has been being cut now for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
Seeing the barns with the smoke. I didn't hear of any emergency calls from all of the visitors that we had Monday for barns smoking.
No, yeah, that's that. You know, you would think they say, well, what's that? Or they go, oh, my gosh, it's on fire. But no.
Well, I did make a Facebook post before I left for the State Fair about, if you see this coming out of a barn and it's not a hay barn,
I did see that. Yeah.
that it's normal. Don't call 911.
Right, I saw that, and that's probably good because a lot of folks, especially on the East Coast, they don't do tobacco this way, like in North Carolina where they do tobacco. I think
West
with-
Kentucky and West Tennessee, they're
the only
pretty
place.
unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
So well, that's good. And speaking of the state fair, you were up there.
I did. I've worked every year on my extension career working the 4-H FFA Dairy Show.
Okay.
So that is at the beginning, the day before the fair starts. We have check-in day for all the kids and their cute little dairy cows.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always a fun time. I've watched these kids grow through the years. I've been doing this 15 years. And
Met lots of folks, I'm sure.
Well, watching the kids that were showing when I started now have kids that are starting to show.
That's so cool.
It's kind of surreal. Makes you feel kind of old, too.
It's tradition, though, isn't it? This fair and
it
some of
is,
the
and
folks that are involved in
I've
it.
got some pictures on my phone. I love walking through that barn, especially before the people get there for the fair, before it opens on Thursday. And these kids they've got all these cows in the barn, and they're just treating them like they're queens. I mean, these cows, they got fans, they're air conditioning, they got all the food.
Pretty good life.
Water. They're getting a bath, they're getting curried and everything. And to see that kid that's been working on that for a day, laying up on one of those cows asleep, just wore out from the hard work.
I saw that. I saw that picture too of somebody asleep on their it was a horse or a cow or something.
You see that every year, but it's people think, well, that's an animal. Shoot, a dairy cow is treated like a queen anyway. They're used to being around people because they're milked 2 to 3 times a day.
Right.
So they're used to being around it, and then they've been groomed all these, since they were calves to be shown and to go to these kind of places. So it's just like, yep, we're at another show. So then we set up then for the shows that start on Thursday. We do Shorthorn, Guernsey, Jersey, Holsteins,
Wow.
Red and Whites, and Milk and Shorthorns. So got 2 full days of shows and kids, showmanship, and got judges that come in. It's just an interesting time. It's a good time for those kids to interact with other kids from across the state
That are doing the same thing.
They're doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing, and quality animals that, they take into account everything with that cow, what it produces, whether the kid has registered it and being on the papers
Yeah.
and taking care of that cow from birth to then.
It's valuable learning.
It is.
It really
it's
is.
very valuable learning.
Yeah, it's valuable learning. And we have kids up there. A lot of kids doing the ham.
Oh, yes.
Rhonda was
That
up
is
there
a
with the kid.
popular event.
and I had a list here. I don't have it in front of me. We had several kids that did some
Did
placing
very
up there
well,
and
yes.
did very well up there.
And
So
Drive Up 62, our sign, all those that participated in that placed well are on our
yes,
sign.
I had them on the news. I guess Rhonda sent me the release on that, and congratulations to those kids. They had a lot of hard work. They cure those hams, and they have to get up there and give a speech
Yes.
on it, and
that is a long
day.
If you've ever been around that speech, it is wild, and it's a long day, and it's hard on the kids, but at the same time, they're learning so many valuable skills, getting in front of people, dealing with time management, making
Mhm.
sure you're where you're supposed to be at the right time, plus developing that speech. It's just very good, very good.
No doubt about it. It's real life. I mean, it's really
That's right.
learning life skills. And let's talk about the state fair because from what I understand, what I've read, and it's rated as one of the best state fairs in the country.
It is, and if you're ever up there as the shows are going on and just seeing the people and the interaction, I think I've seen the numbers as far as number of animals at these shows go down over the years, but the quality has not went anywhere. They're
Right.
still taking as good care. I just think as agriculture has kind of gotten bigger, the small family dairies, small family beef operations are less
dwindling,
than they were.
yes.
They're dwindling, and so the big get bigger, and the small either retire or go out of business.
Right.
But the quality of people, the quality of animals, met some very nice people that were all excited about the eclipse. They said, hey, we're coming to your area. They was, from East Kentucky, but we're coming down. Since we're already here at Louisville, we're going to come on down
Sure.
and see the eclipse. And got to talk to a lot of nice folks about that.
Are they still bathing pigs in buttermilk like they did in Charlotte's Web? I just wonder if
Don't think so.
I just figured there'd be pigs up there getting buttermilk baths.
And I've never
That
been
fascinates me.
I've never been up there for the swine show, so I don't know. Dairy's been my responsibility.
You're the
all
dairy
along.
man, yeah. But I've been to the state fair a couple times, and and I haven't been in years, and I wonder why I haven't gone back, because it's such a neat experience, and again, there's tradition there that these agricultural families, they spend every August up there.
Yeah.
And it's just a neat thing for a family to do, for friends to do. And, I understand when they have it, sometimes people argue, well, they have it, after school starts for most people. And that is a little bit, I guess, hard for some to make it. But there's some weekend sessions up there that you can take off. And really, it's very reasonably priced, I think, to go to our state fair.
It's also state law, Ty, that kids get
That's
a
right.
day
That's
to
right.
go to the state fair.
That's exactly right.
My kids get to go up Friday. My daughter has a couple of entries from the local level that made it to the state fair this year, so they're going to get to go up and see those. And always make a point to head to Cloverville, to where the kids, the FFA.
The FFA exhibits are and stuff,
you've
yeah.
got your
My daughter had some
tobacco
stuff
and
there one year, yeah.
soybeans and corn and your hay, judging and all that. It's just a wonderful experience. And then to go through the hall and see what some of these FFA and 4-H kids have done with equipment, building trailers, building cookers, and welding.
Yeah.
It's just really good showcase of Kentucky, and Kentucky is blessed that they still love agriculture and still support it. And
It's who we are.
it is. It is.
I mean, really, that's who we are.
we would
for the
not be
yeah.
here if it was not for agriculture.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are other business sectors out there, but Kentucky
All of them's
is.
gotta eat.
Yeah, they do. And when you think of Kentucky, you just think agriculture. I mean, it's just the heartbeat of the state.
Yep.
No doubt about it. So, thank you again for what you guys do. Fantastic show today. Appreciate it. If you guys want some of these chigger tips, we have them here at WPKY The Tiger, and Shane will leave the brochure. I know sometimes I have lent those out. You can also go to our website. We'll be uploading this program to that as well. And Shane, we appreciate what you do for us here in this county as far as agriculture and natural resources, and all the agents out there. At the UK Extension Office, 365-2787, folks. It's a resource here in the county that needs to be utilized. They can help you, if you have a question about flowering, gardening, food, pesticides, anything, how to shop for food. There's a lot of resources out at our Extension Office and folks that are there to help, and they have a lot of researched information out there that they can give to you. So, do utilize that, 365-2787. If you have any questions, Shane will be glad to answer them. We've got Rhonda, our 4-H agent out there, Joni, our FNAP agent, and Ashley, our agent for Family and Consumer Sciences. They do a fantastic job. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Ty.
All right, have a great day. That's Shane Bogel. It is 8:26, and that's going to wrap up Tiger Talk, our extension portion, every Wednesday. Be sure you tune in next Wednesday for our extension program here on Tiger Talk on your hometown radio station, WPKY The Tiger.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious